Here's a problem from the homework from section 4.5 where you have to graph the solutions of two linear inequalities. The first one is y is less than 4x minus 4, and the second one is y is less than or equal to x plus 3. So both of these equations are linear inequalities in the form of equivalent to y equals mx plus b. So I'm going to click on enlarge graph. I need the line tool. For the first one, because it just is a strict inequality, it just says less than, I need a dashed line. And the way I'm going to graph them is I'm finding the y-intercept by setting x equal to 0. So the y-intercept in this case would be 0, negative 4. So I make my first point, then my slope is 4, mx plus b. So m is the number in front of the x, which is 4 over 1, rise over run. So I'm going to go up 4 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. And that's where I get my second point. Press enter again, and off we go. So this would be the first inequality. I'm going to shade later. Now I got to graph y is less than or equal to x plus 3. Again, I go back to the line tool. And this time I use a solid line because it says less than or equal to. And I find my y-intercept by setting x equal to 0, and I get 0, 3. I make my first point. My slope in this case is 1, or rise over run, 1 over 1. So I go up 1 over 1, and I make my second point. And here now I have the two lines graphed. Now I have to shade the solution because this is an inequality. So I'm going to go to the shading tool. The first one says less than. So we would shade below. And the second one says less than. So we would shade below as well. So where they both have the same shading, that would be our answer. So I'm gonna, first one is below, so that would be right here. So that would be this area right here. This is where both have the same shading. Save, check answer, and fantastic, we got this one correct. Here's one more problem where it says x is less than or equal to 2 and y is greater than or equal to negative 3. Okay, so we want to graph both of these inequalities. Click to enlarge. Again, we need the line tool. For the first one, we need a solid line because it says x is less than or equal to 2. Solid line, since we don't have a y value here, this means we have a vertical line we want to graph. And I'm just making a point here, and somewhere else I make a point on the same. And here you go. This is basically x is equal to 2. We're going to do the shading later. Now we're going to use the line tool again. And we have y is greater than or equal to negative 3. So this would also be a solid line. Negative 3 is right here. And I'm just going to find a second point. And this is a horizontal line. So now I use my shading tool, and I have to shade the area where both of the equations have the same solution. So x is less than 2 would be to the left, greater than negative 3 would be going up. So this area here to the left is my solution that holds true for both of them. Save, check answer, and nice work. This is how you graph inequalities.